So I also highly recommend the Case Foundation commissioned this study, or this report called Citizens at the Center. It's a new model of civic engagement. And it's written by Cynthia Gibson, and it's about how we go about as communities in solving these problems. The first step is sort of shift the focus, provide opportunities for people to create solutions on their own, just as the needs assessment went community by community and brought people together and interviewed them about what the problems are. Perhaps a good next step would be going back to the communities and asking people, well, what do you think possible solutions to these problems are? Start young. Again, engage young people. There's really no age limit to the amount of people who can participate in this. Involve all community institutions. Perhaps think outside the box as to the main stakeholders in some of the problems that we're facing. Use technology to facilitate dialogue and deliberation. There are new tools available to us. We have to think outside the traditional town hall meeting in the way of reaching out to people and facilitating dialogue between them. Explore and create new mechanisms. Maybe instead of convening people in a certain place, we go to where they are, go to the PTAs and the civic organizations. And move from deliberation to action. And when all these steps are completed, make sure that we aren't just talking, that we're actually coming up with solutions that we can move on. So some good questions to ask is, what opportunities can we provide people to take action on these issues? Do we see them as consumers of our services, or do we see them as citizens with the potential to make a difference? And to what extent can we help people feel more empowered to carry out solutions in their communities in the way they feel they best can be carried out? And a new report released this week, go to the next slide, called Volunteering in America, provides ample evidence that this would be a good way to go about problem solving. This was a annual report that's put out by the Corporation for National and Community Service, looking at data from the U.S. Census's current population survey. It's the most recent data out there.
Nick, could you go back to the last slide a minute?
Yes.
It's very difficult, either on the screen or in the handout, to read the text in
Right.
the blue and red section. Could you read through the stuff in the red section, please?
It's also very difficult in the one that I printed out here.
And that's your only copy?
Yes, but it's also available. You can read it.
If you can hear me, first bullet is structured or predetermined programs, initiatives, projects, or campaigns into which people are asked to plug in and participate. The second one is focused on providing.
Excuse me,
This
Jack,
is our
they're saying they can't hear. I'm going to grab the mic and bring it over, if that's okay. I think it'll roll that.
I don't think so.
Maybe I could turn around.
All right, no?
I'll try to talk louder, is that
Talk
better?
louder.
The red section says citizen-centered approaches are not structured or predetermined programs, initiatives, projects, or campaigns into which people are asked to plug in and participate. Second bullet is focused on providing training or education. The third is planned, structured, or driven by outside experts, professionals, organizations, or those external to the community, however community is defined. And the last one is attempting to inspire, persuade, or manipulate people to adopt a particular view or position on an issue or agenda.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick.
So again, that's also available in the report that you can download if you Google this report. And just to summarize that, we should see ourselves as facilitators in creating solutions. So back to the Volunteering in America report, it's the most recent data that's out. If you go to the next slide, the text there, which is also very difficult to read, and I apologize, basically says the rates of volunteerism nationally are increasing despite the economic downturn. There's more Americans volunteering more hours in 2008 than in 2007. And promisingly, there are also, and this is a significant increase from about 5 to 7% over the last year, in the number of people who are working with their neighbors to solve a problem in their community. This slide is volunteering in Pennsylvania as a whole. The first graph is urban, then it goes to suburban and rural. There are more volunteers as a percentage of the population in rural communities, a little over 50%. And if you go to volunteeringinamerica.gov, all these slides are available. Sorry that they're a little bit difficult to see. So to make the connection back to young people, the millennial generation per se, those born roughly between 1976 and 2000, about 80 million of them, we're known as a civic generation. We really want to get involved in public life. We're sort of skeptical and don't have much faith in government institutions, but we're looking to get involved into the community outside of them and participate. 69.7% of college freshmen, according to the Higher Education Institute, said that helping others is essential or very important. It's the highest rate in that question answered since 1970. And 85% see volunteering and community service as a way to solve community and national problems. So given this backdrop, service has really become a way for all Americans to participate in their communities and country in solving issues. The president in mid-June, June 22nd to be exact, launched United We Serve, and it's a campaign this summer to get all Americans involved in particular issue areas around energy, healthcare, environment, and community renewal. And so when this was launched in Pike County, we sort of asked ourselves the question, well, what can we do as a United We Serve project this summer? It's a 12-week-long project that'll go until September 11th. It's a citizen-centered approach. What can we do as citizens to identify a problem and then to work towards solving it? And this was around the same time that the Wayne Pike Needs Assessment came out. So we thought it was a perfect opportunity to sort of use this as a launching off point. So myself and some other members of the Pike County Youth Coalition went to different organizations and said, this is a sort of initiative we want to partake in. Do you have ideas of what the project can be? And eventually we convened a meeting. And in this meeting, we decided that, according to needs assessment, youth support was a great area that we can make an impact in. So we would develop a youth mentoring program, which doesn't exist in Pike County. So this met all the criteria of a project, and I'd submit that with the exceptions of the third and last one, this is criteria that can be used for any community project in judging its potential success. If it's based on a well-identified and researched community need, it doesn't duplicate an existing service, it has measurable outcomes that track progress and evaluate effectiveness, it's easily scalable and replicable elsewhere, able to engage and expand a diverse cross-section of the volunteer base. So based on this, we developed what we hope to eventually launch as the Youth Mentoring Program. Its mission is going to be to serve at-risk youth in Pike County by pairing them with an older, responsible citizen in a mentoring program. Proud to say that Angela Tribune is here. She was just brought on as the local organizer of this program. Angela represents what I was talking about, the spirit of volunteerism as a young person who applied to the Peace Corps, which is also going to apply to AmeriCorps. So we're happy to have her on. So what needs does this program address? Again, youth support in the needs assessment. A program that currently does not exist in Pike County, one used to. Rates of local teen drug use and teen pregnancy have increased. Parents aren't home. Young people need good mentors. And to provide sustainable community service opportunities for people in Pike County. So the goals would be to identify these at-risk youth and to make the connections, to decrease the bad issues that we're seeing in the county among the youth population, and to foster a greater sense of community. The potential, according to the study done by Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, students who are regularly mentored are 52% less likely to skip school, and they're also 46% likely when their peers will start using illegal drugs, so it seems pretty promising to get good role models into young people's lives. We assembled a steering committee who we're working with to develop the plan for the project, and the project plan basically consists of 3 stages. The first is in this United We Serve phase to build a foundation and gather community support. The second would be an interim program to temporarily set up the administrative structure of the program, and then a sustained program to make this and grow it into the future. So the first phase, the objective is to build that foundation. Some goals would be to create the infrastructure necessary for a sustainable program, to gain grassroots support, and to begin recruiting mentors. We already have a few signed up on our website, the temporary website, pikeyouth.org/mentor was set up